Good morning, and what a gorgeous morning it's turned out to be. The wind has settled down, sun is up. It was a cold night, my gosh. This morning I measured 3.5 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty cold. As it turns out, I was a little chilly today. So today we have our first day of real hiking, 14 kilometers. And yeah, it looks like a really good day. So I'm looking forward to this. And what you see across, that's Mount Edziza with this big glacier. I hope it's visible. Isn't this beautiful? So our hike has begun. And from what I can see, we have our first obstacle. That looks interesting. So this first bit is something I'm used to, namely walking through the forest. Except that everybody yells once in a while, as this is bear country. And not the cute little black bears, but the nasty big brown ones. There you go. A very, very cool mushroom. No idea what it is, but it's a cool mushroom. So we're about, 45 minutes in? Something like that. Trail's been tough. Rooty, swampy, and not terribly well maintained. But it's a lovely day to hike, just a little harder, oops, there's a tree, than I would have imagined. So this is a bit of a nicer bit, so I can chat with you a little bit, which is nice. The trail is pretty good right now. So last night was rough. Occasionally I get night sweats and I soak everything through, and unfortunately that was the case last night. So my sleeping bag was wet. I had a really hard night sweat, and then at 5 o'clock I was shivering. I was just so cold. It was 3.5 degrees, and there comes Mark running up behind me, so I'll let him go by. So I got up early, had coffee, something to eat, and everything was fine. And this is turning out to be an absolutely lovely day.
Are you filming?
Yeah. So we're about 2.75 hours in. Trail's been tricky. I can't show you the difficult bits. Very overgrown in parts, swampy in parts, and lots of roots that you have to climb over. They're not slippery today, which is nice, but it's hard to get a pace going. And I think we have done about 400 meters vertical so far. So after the swamp was done, it's been steady uphill in a well-defined trail, pretty narrow, and weather beautiful. We're higher now, over 1,000 meters, so a bit cooler, very nice. Bugs still around, but not too bad. And this is the first view of the day. Mount Edziza with this glacier out there. We've seen lots of animal tracks. Wolf, caribou, bear, but no animal yet except for this remain here. It's been hours and hours through the brush. Not terribly enjoyable, I must say.
This is only day one.
Well, day one's the hard day.
It is the hard day, the most weight and the longest distance.
And hopefully the most bushwhackery and shitty spots. Except the last one.
Yeah, I understand the last day is worse.
Yours truly waiting to be buried.
The ground has changed. We're now walking on volcanic ground. Very different feel, but nice. And down there, that's where we came from. And look at this panorama. Maybe you can see the little orange dot. We're actually going there to Sida Scone. The little hump on the left is where we're going to pass it on the left.
We're going between the two squares.
We lost the trail, so now we have to bushwhack a little bit through some admittedly amazing landscape. We found the trail again. So here we are, 13.5 kilometers down, about 3.5 kilometers to go to what's called the Oasis. Apparently it's just a water source in the middle of this landscape, which is absolutely gorgeous. But it's a long day, hard day. And I'm coming to the end of my strength here, but the trail has evened out. We're now walking on pumice, which is very, very nice. Makes for nice walking. And now I'll show you an amazing sight. Look at that. Lava fields. Up there, the crater of Edziza. Isn't this gorgeous? What a reward for some hard work. Just fantastic. Big smile. Big smile. Look at this. We're now entering the lava fields proper. The moonscape is ahead of us, but the trail is lovely. So nice to walk. The flat top ahead of us is Eve's Cone, and we'll be passing that tomorrow. I think that's an old crater volcano. So really, really cool. And look, there's Edziza. Isn't that gorgeous? One thing I noticed is that I have trouble walking on this narrow trail. I noticed how much I rely on my poles, and with the narrow trail, it's not that easy to set them. So, gotta practice walking without poles. There are lots of these just lying around. I wonder why. So I thought I'd show you our campsite. It's a really lovely one. It's a little chilly, 16.3 degrees Celsius, but strong wind coming. Well, strong gusts coming that feel definitely chilly. So this here is called the Oasis, and this is what it looks like. So here's my tent, little pad. I brought the tarp tent Rainbow. Wasn't my first choice, but I needed a freestanding tent. Here is an MSR Hubba Hubba Over there are my travel mates making dinner. And then over here is the way to the loo. This is a spectacular loo, one of the best I've ever seen. And up there in the no snore zone is my sister's tent. It was a long day, about 17k after all, 700 meters vertical, and I'm hurting. So tonight some vitamin I just for a good sleep.